All right, this is 2025, and this marks 24 years that I haven't had a drink of alcohol. I just woke up and said I'm not going to drink no more. Psych. So let me tell you the story about what brought me to no alcohol. The guy that came up before, Mark, was actually my college roommate. And so we're good friends. We go back a long, long way, 84. He was having a birthday party, and he lived in Detroit at the time. I lived in Cleveland, so I drove up to Detroit to celebrate my brother. And we're going to party, and his wife, and we just party. So before we get to the club, we partying, we drinking, and we going to the club. And I never thought that I was a drunk, because I didn't keep alcohol in my home. But I drank when I went out, I went to the club. And so we partied, go down there, and we get to the club. It's nice little setup, and good night, and somebody talks about another party elsewhere on the other side of the city. Yeah, so my drink at that time was Jack Daniels, and I get a Jack Daniels straight and a Heineken. Jack Daniels and a Heineken, that was it, that's all I drank. So I'm Jack Daniels out, but I'm going to the other club. So we go to this other club, and now I'm kind of blurry, and I'm trying to get back to Mark's crib. He lived in Southfield. I'm away. I don't know what part of Michigan but I'm in another side of the town, and I'm getting back to that area. And I get in the car and go. And I woke up with a flashing light in my face at a stop sign. And the police like, where you going? Shit, to Southfield. What's going on? And I remember it vividly, and so he was like, get out the car, and went through the whole shit, just like they do on TV. That shit is real. Do the test and all that stuff, and he's like, I'm fucked up. Yeah, I'm fucked up, I'm drunk. I didn't even try to, he's like, well, you're nice and drunk, we gotta take you in. So they locked me up that night. Yeah. So I called him about 3 in the morning. He's like, his wife was like, who the fuck is that? Who's that? Be in jail. So it's like, come and get me. So he got to come next morning and get me. So that's done. I got to go to court, and so I have to get an attorney. And this is a long process. A lot of shit. You spend a lot of money in this whole thing. First offense, my attorney's like, you'll probably get probation. They walk you through all of this stuff, and we'll go through it. I have to travel to Detroit to go to court because I'm living in Cleveland and working, so I'm working around my job to do all of this shit. So I go to court, and I'll never forget the judge. I had a lady judge, and she went through her. My attorney spoke for me. You've never done this, and she said, Mr. Burleson, I understand all that. I know this is your first time, but had my daughter been on that street and you hit her, I'd have thrown your ass under the jail. She didn't say ass, but that's how it felt. And so she was like, I'm giving you 10 days. Boom. Serve it right now. I looked at my lawyer like, what? 10 days? I gotta go to jail? She's like, hold on, I gotta go to work. I said, I'm literally leaving the court to go to work. And so he's like, well, Your Honor, this is in October, November time. And he's like, he gotta go to work. Can you give him time to get his stuff together? She said, okay, January 6th, report to jail for 10 days. So I gotta go through Christmas and all the holidays with your family, knowing I gotta go to jail for 10 whole days, not a day, for 10 days. My whole holiday was fucked up, that whole Christmas. And then I didn't tell nobody. I didn't want to tell my parents, didn't know. The only person that knew was my brother and his wife, the people that were there, so I was just like, I'm gonna go there. And my siblings knew. Because I wanted them to, I gotta go to jail, I'm going to jail. Damn, I'm going to jail. You're thinking that shit the whole time. What is it like? It's just like that shit y'all see on TV. Promise you. Uh-oh. So I gotta go. I'm in jail. The whole point of the story is I'm sitting in there. It's 30 people, 5 by 5, cement, a metal toilet, and niggas just coming in and out. And I kept saying, why am I here? I'm not a criminal, and there's all kind of criminals coming in and out. I didn't speak to nobody. I sat there for a whole 2 days because they keep you in county for 2 days so they can get you to where you gotta go. I'm sitting there like, didn't talk to nobody, I didn't shit, I didn't do it. I just sat there on that concrete floor for 2 days, but I meditated. And I kept talking to my father, like, why am I here? Why am I here? And literally, he said, stop drinking. Stop, you drinking. I said, but I don't drink a lot. But you drink when you're in the streets, and this is what happened to you. Okay. They took me to a regular jail place where it wasn't as bad as that. But it was more like, you know, you set up like a campground. And so, but long story short, I made it through the 10 days, nothing happened. Met some people in there while I was there. These motherfuckers were trying to change numbers and hook up afterwards. I said, I don't never want to see these motherfuckers. So I made it through, I read the word, I got closer to my father, and I don't drink no more.